On Christmas morning, I overheard my wife call me a trained dog who buys his own gifts, so I spent 2 weeks planning my escape and left her with nothing but divorce papers. I was making coffee at 7 in the morning when I heard them talking in the upstairs guest room. Alice and her sister Holly were laughing about something. I froze on the stairs when I heard my name. Theo is so pathetic, Alice was saying. You should see him every Christmas, gets so excited about his gifts for me like he's expecting a medal or something. More laughter from Holly. The best part, Alice continued. Every gift I buy him is just from his own credit card. He never even checks the statement. He's like a trained dog, so happy with whatever scraps I throw him. I stood there processing what the hell I'd just heard. They kept talking about how she fakes her reactions to my gifts, how she's been doing this for years, how she finds it hilarious that I never notice. Holly asked why she stays with me. His job has good benefits and he handles all the bills. Plus he's so easy to manage. Who else would put up with me like this? I quietly went back downstairs, hands shaking so badly I nearly dropped my coffee mug. An hour later, everyone was opening presents. I watched Alice like I was seeing a stranger. She opened my carefully chosen gifts with big fake smiles and exaggerated reactions that I now realized were completely rehearsed. When I opened my gifts from her, a new watch, premium headphones, and a collector's edition video game, I just smiled and thanked her, knowing full well I had literally paid for all of it myself. Her parents seemed oblivious. Holly kept giving Alice little smirks whenever I said anything. After everyone left, I did something I should have done years ago. I checked our credit cards and bank statements. It wasn't just Christmas gifts. For years, Alice had been taking cash advances on my credit card, buying stuff for herself using our joint account while telling me it was household expenses, opening store credit cards I didn't know about, borrowing from our savings without telling me. I found charges for spa days, expensive lunches with Holly, designer clothes, all while she complained we couldn't afford bathroom renovations or that trip I wanted. I'd been living with someone who saw me as a joke, as an ATM with legs. I found out she'd been sending hundreds of dollars every month to Holly from our savings. New Year's Eve at a friend's party, Alice got drunk and spent the whole night ignoring me, then demanded I drive her home early. As I watched her immediately perk up once we got home and start texting, probably Holly, something clicked. I wasn't going to be the punchline anymore. That night I opened my laptop and started making a list of everything I knew, everything I had access to, everything I needed to do. The trained dog was about to show some new tricks. First, I called my bank and changed all passwords, set up 2-factor authentication, requested new cards shipped to my workplace. When Alice asked about fraud alerts, I said I was updating security after reading about data breaches. Started documenting everything with screenshots of bank statements, credit card bills, records of all those gifts she'd given me, found an apartment, paid deposit and first month's rent from personal savings she didn't know about. I made small changes daily, stopped doing her laundry, didn't ask what she wanted for dinner, started going to the gym after work instead of rushing home. Nothing dramatic enough to trigger alarms, but enough that she noticed. When she asked if everything was okay, I shrugged and said work was stressful. The old me would have apologized profusely. By day 8, I noticed Alice texting frantically more than usual. That night, I pretended to fall asleep on the couch but heard her talking to Holly in the bathroom. Something's wrong with Theo. He's acting different. What if he knows something? Holly told her she was being paranoid, that I was too clueless to figure anything out. By day 10, I had opened new bank accounts at a different bank, transferred my direct deposit, consulted with a divorce attorney, quietly packed essentials in my car trunk. Friday morning came when Alice was leaving for her weekend at Holly's. I acted normal, helped her load her overnight bag, kissed her goodbye. As soon as her car disappeared, I called the moving company I'd arranged. In 3 hours, we loaded up all my furniture and belongings I could prove I'd purchased. I left all her stuff and anything we'd bought together. At the bank, I withdrew exactly half of our joint savings, not a penny more. Back at the house, I set up my final message. On the dining room table, I laid out copies of all credit card statements showing her purchases of my gifts, screenshots of cash withdrawals, printouts of Christmas gifts I'd bought her with receipts, records of money she'd sent to Holly, and audio recordings of them calling me a trained dog. On top of everything, divorce papers from my lawyer. Next to this evidence, I left my house key and wedding ring. Then I blocked her number and sent one final text. The trained dog learned some new tricks. Enjoy your weekend with Holly. Around 8 that evening, my phone exploded with notifications. Alice had come home early and found everything. Text after text from unknown numbers as she used friends' phones after realizing I'd blocked her. I didn't respond to any, just sat in my new apartment feeling this weight lift off my shoulders with each ignored message. The next morning at 10, I got a text from Holly. She's screaming, please answer her. I smiled, took a screenshot, and went back to assembling my new desk. After hours of messages spreading to email, social media, even LinkedIn, I finally replied to Holly. You both laughed at me on Christmas morning, called me a trained dog. How's it feel to be on the other side? The divorce finalized 3 months later. We sold the house, split proceeds, divided remaining assets. Just like that, 5 years of marriage reduced to signatures and legal terminology. It's been 6 months since that Christmas morning. My apartment feels like home now. I've reconnected with old friends, started taking cooking classes, something Alice said I'd be terrible at. Turns out I'm not half bad. Yesterday I got a friend request from Alice on Instagram. I declined without a second thought. 10 minutes later, a text from an unknown number. I miss you. I'm sorry. I've changed. I didn't respond. That chapter is closed. The trained dog found a new home and is finally off the leash.